What if I was going to tell you that there was a way where you can make money trading futures, trading it around one specific setup each and every single day? And if you're patient enough, it could potentially get you multiple payouts a month across multiple different prop firm accounts. The setup that I'm talking about is using the initial balance, which is the first hour of the New York trading session. We're going to be using that range and we're going to be playing breakouts or breakdowns. You can see the initial balance on my screen with the purple dotted lines. And the reason why this setup, these levels are so significant, because 80% of the time in the NASDAQ 100 for the futures, the NQ contracts, it breaks out 80% of the time. Okay. 80% of the time you're getting a breakout or a breakdown. So how are we exactly going to play this? Well, we're going to be extremely patient off the open. And the reason we're going to be extremely patient off the open is because I know many of you guys right now take some of the biggest losses and get chopped up in the first hour of trade anyways. So instead of fighting the hassle and fighting the crowd and fighting the mess, let's just kind of sit back. Let's wait for one of these levels to get broken and let's take the confirmation. How does that look? Well, you're going to see here at exactly 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we break the initial balance highs, and then we have a very aggressive pullback. We're going to let this go. Okay. We're going to completely let this go. We're going to cross this out. But what we want to see is a break, pullback, a break, consolidation, and then a confirmation of the new high. That's going to be our entry. You could almost draw it up as a flag. You can draw it up as a price level line where you're going to use it as a pivot. Your entry candle is going to be here. And in terms of stop loss, we're not going to give it much. So whatever candle we're entering on, we're going to use the previous 5-minute candle as our stop. Very simple guidelines to follow. This setup is probably going to work for you about 65 to 70% of the time. Okay. 65 to 70% of the time. I know that because I've taken it hundreds and hundreds of times over the past, I would say, since I've really worked the initial balance into my system, maybe about the last 4 years, hundreds and hundreds of trades. Okay. And again, you're not going to know what your win rate percentage is. You're not going to know what the numbers are going to look like until you start to take dozens and dozens of trades. And what I would definitely recommend is to dedicate one account, 2 accounts to this particular setup each and every single day. So you have account number 1, 2, and 3, you trade whatever it is that your heart desires. And maybe account 4, 5, and 6, you dedicate to linking together and trading the initial balance breakout or breakdown. Okay. So with that being said, all you're waiting for is for initial balance to get broken. You want to see the new pivot, which is the new high. We're going to take the wick, always use the wick. And we're going to enter into the trade once that new high or low, depending on if we break to the long side or to the short side, when that gets confirmed. Stop loss, very easy. It's going to go below the previous 5-minute candle. We're going to use the 5-minute time frame to wait for that candle to break. And it can do whatever it wants to do. It can pull back, it can chop around sideways, and then it can confirm. It doesn't really matter. Do this setup for the next 30 days. Let me know how that goes. I'll see all of you guys in the next one.